everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making a dice bag, and not just any dice bag, but a dragon scale dice bag. And we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to make a blue dragon dice bag. So you're going to need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Today we're using Red Heart Super Saver. It is blue, hence the blue dragon scale. Okay, so it's a 4-ply medium weight yarn. Yeah, you're going to need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to start by crossing our yarn. A lot of people start with slip knots. I have never crocheted with slip knots, so we're just going to cross our yarn. Next, we're going to chain. We're going to chain 2. Okay, so there's my 2. Now we're going to go into that first chain. We're going to put the tail around our hook. We're going to pull through, yarn over, go through the 2 loops, and that, my friends, is a single crochet. Let's do it again. Go into the same stitch or the same chain, pull through, yarn over, through the 2 loops. So we're putting 6 single crochets in this same spot. And you see how I'm kind of holding it with my fingers so I don't lose where I'm putting the stitches? That's a good little trick to remember. So pull through, yarn over, through the 2 stitches. We're at 3, we want 6. 4, 5, and 6. We are going to slip stitch into that first stitch, and we're going to chain up 1. There is our first round. That is the first round of our cute little dragon scale bag. Okay, now we're going to increase. So we're going to increase by 6. So we're doing 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in every stitch around to give us a total of 12. So just like before, into the stitch, pull through, yarn over through the 2 loops. Into the stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops. We're at 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to slip stitch to that first stitch again, and we're going to chain up 1. This is what we have. So you see how my center circle here is a little bit gapy? Well, we don't want that. So if you did your tail right when you caught it with your hook, you can give it a nice firm tug, and that hole cinches right up. If it doesn't, don't panic. Do not panic. You can use this to just sew up the center so that there's no space. Okay. Now, let's do this again. Sorry, I just hit the camera. So now we're working in multiples of 3. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do that. So we're going to still work with single crochet. So we're going to put 1 and 2 into the first stitch. We're always going to be putting 2 into the first stitch now. So 2, and then 1 on its own to make 3. Okay. Then you can go 4 and 5 in the next stitch and put 6 on your own. And this is what I mean by multiples of 3. So we're just going to keep doing that until we get a total of 18. Or if you're good at knowing where you started, some people can't see it if they're really new, but if you're good at seeing where you started, or if you put a stitch marker, you can just go like this and do 1, 2 stitches in the first, and then 3 is on its own. And then just keep going like that. 1 and 2 together, 3 is on its own. Okay. 1 and 2 together, 3 is on its own. Now I'm getting close to the other side and I can see it clearly. This is where I need to slip stitch. But some people who haven't been crocheting as long may not see it that easily. So that's another way where you could count. So this would be 15 and I would go 16 and 17 into the same stitch, and 18's on your own. You know that's the total of stitches you want to get, so you would slip stitch into that first stitch and then you chain up 1. Now we're going to increase in this way until we get 30 stitches. So you're not going to do 3s. The next round we're going to do 4s. So I'm going to show you the start of each round, but you're going to do this until you're doing multiples of 6 and you're doing 36 stitches. Okay, so right now we did 18, so we're going to go 1 and 2, and these are multiples of 4. So 3 is on its own and 4 is on its own. Remember, you always start with 2. So 5 and 6 are together. 7 and 8 are on their own. So continue this round and meet me back, and then I'll show you for round 5. So I slip stitched into that first stitch and I chained up 1. Now we are going to do multiples of 5. So 1 and 2 go in that first stitch. 3 goes on its own. 4 goes on its own. And 5 goes on its own. So this round you're going to end up with 30 stitches, working in multiples of 5. So see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ridges, which means multiples of 5. And you'll end up with 30 stitches. So keep going, meet me back. Okay, so again, I slip stitched and now I chained up 1. So now we're doing our final round and we're doing multiples of 6. So 1 and 2 go into that first stitch. 3 is on its own. 4 is on its own. 5 is on its own. And 6. Now we know we have to do 2 in the next stitch because we're doing multiples of 6. So 7 and 8 in that stitch. 9 is on its own. 10 is on its own. 11 is on its own. And 12 is on its own. So you continue this until you get to 36 and meet me back. So I've gone all the way around, and now I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch. I'm going to make my loop a little big. I'm going to cut my yarn. My tail goes through my loop, pull tight. Now we're going to quickly hide our threads. So I'm just going to show you how I do this. If you're a new crocheter. Okay, so I go in my stitches. I'm looking to see which direction my yarn is coming out, and it's coming out here. That's what I was looking for. So I go through some stitches, pull through. Now I go behind where I'm coming out, and I go a little bit further. And I'm only going through the back loops. I'm not going through the front, see? Here we are, and I do that all the way around to get rid of those. There's that one. You notice no knots because we don't really need them. By doing the back stitching like I just showed you, you don't need to do knots because your yarn won't come undone. Okay, at the edge, same thing. I go down. I try not to stay up at the very edge because I don't want to distort the stitches. So I head towards that center. There we go. There. Now those are hidden. And you're ready for the next part. So you put this to the side. Now what I want you to do is I want you to make another one, but don't finish it, okay? So do up to the 6 rounds and do your slip stitch, but then stop. Do not cut your yarn. And then meet me back, okay? So make another one without cutting your working yarn after you've done the slip stitch. Okie dokie. Okay, so I'm done that. I did my slip stitch, and now I'm going to chain up 2. Okay, we're going to grab our back. We're putting the two wrong ends together. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in half of this stitch and go through the whole stitch of the back. Sorry, but we're doing this yarn over, into the half, into the hole, pull through, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops. That is a half double crochet. So let's do it again. Yarn over, we're only going in the half of the stitch, but the whole stitch at the back, pull through, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, into the half of the stitch, into the full of the back stitch, and go through all 3 loops. And what this is creating is, see, is it's making this ridge. And that's going to help our dice bag sit nicely. So do this all the way around. We are not increasing. If you want, you can hide this thread, or you can do like I'm going to do and just tuck it in. So do this all the way around till you get back to your chain and meet me back. So I've gotten all the way around. This is my chain 2, but we're not going to slip stitch. Now we're going to switch to working in the spiral, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and you're going to go into the stitch, not the chain, and you're just going to continue doing half double crochets, okay? And we're just going to spiral. Now here's the trick. Okay, so let me get a few in. And you're just going through the whole stitch. You're not doing the ridging again. Okay, so here's what I want you to see. This is 1 row, this is 1 round, this is 2 rounds. On this side, it's just 1 round. So I want you to continue until you have 3 rounds on both sides of your working yarn. Okay, so do that, half double crochet 3 rounds. The 1 round we just did counts, and now we're starting on the 2nd round. I want you to do 3, so you'll end up here. Okay, do that, meet me back. Okay, so see, I've got 1, 2, 3 rounds on this side of my crochet hook, and 1, 2, 3 rounds on this side of my crochet hook. I'm going to slip stitch into the very next stitch, and then I'm going to chain up 3. Now, in the same spot, we are going to do a double crochet. So it's yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, okay? Then we are going to chain 2. We're going to skip 2, and we're putting 1 double crochet in that stitch. We're going to chain 2, we're going to skip 2, and we're putting 2 double crochets into this stitch. We're going to chain 2, skip 2, 1 double crochet into this stitch. Chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochets. I want you to continue like this until you're around to the end. And I'm going to show you the end, okay? So 2 double crochets, chain 2, skip 2, 1 double crochet. Continue that. Okay, you're going to end up with 1, 2, 3 stitches, but that's okay. You're still just going to chain 2 and you're going to reach across to the top of that chain 3 and you're going to slip stitch into that. Okay, we're going to chain up 3 and now we're going to start our scale. So this chain 3 counts as a double crochet and now we're going to work around the post going down the post and we're doing double crochets. So we've got 1, which is our chain 3, 2, we're going to have a total of 5, 3, 4, and 5. We are going to chain 1 and now we're going to work back up that other post. And we're putting 5 double crochets around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to slip stitch into this double crochet, and now just reaching to the next post, we're going to start working down the side, 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 and work up the other double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oops. 5. We're going to slip stitch into here and continue. But this is what our scales are looking like. Okay? So do that around, meet me back. Okay, so we're all the way around the beginning, okay? So this is where we would slip stitch into the post. But you know what I'm going to get you guys to do here? You're going to catch just in between the stitches, you're going to catch that very first dragon scale we did, and we're going to slip stitch the whole mess, okay? Then we're going to chain up 3, but I did 4. Chain up 3, and we're going to go back into that same space and do a double crochet. We're going to chain 2 and put 1 double crochet in the space that we create with our dragon scales. We're going to chain 2 and we're going to put 2 into this right here where we slip stitched. We're going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And it's kind of tricky because you can't really see the stitch. So I just look for the space. See how there's that space? And I put it in the space, okay? So you're going to do this all the way around. And what we're doing is we're making our foundation for our next row of scales. So 2, chain 2, 1, chain 2, 2, chain 2. You know what I'm saying. So do that. Now, if you haven't had a chance yet, don't forget to hit that like. And if any of this has been intriguing for you and you've gotten this far in the video, obviously you like what I do. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. This is my retirement plan. I'm trying to make this channel big enough so that one day I can retire, because even though I have all these videos and I've been working on this channel for so many years, I still work a full-time job, and I'm hoping someday that that won't be the case, so then I can make so many more tutorials for you guys. I have so many ideas, you guys, and I just don't have enough time. So help me help you by liking and subscribing so that we can blow up this channel, right? Okay, keep doing what I was saying and meet me back. Okay, so I'm all the way to the other end. I'm going to go in the top of the chain 3 to slip stitch. Come on now. The top of the chain 3. We're going to slip stitch into that. And then just like before, we're going to start building our scales. So you're going to do another row of scales. You're going to do, and then another row of foundation and another row of scales, okay? So do that and meet me back. Okay guys, so I've gone all the way around. I've done my 3 levels of scales. We're going to chain up 2. Now we're going to finish this bag. And this is a little bit of a tricky part. So we're going to go back to doing half double crochets, and we're working in these back stitches here, okay? So yarn over into the chain, pull through, yarn over through the 2 loops. Yarn over into the chain, pull through 2 loops. We're going to pick up 36 stitches, okay? So 2, I'm going to put this one in the space. 3, back chain, 4, 5, into the post, 6, into the chain, 7, 8, into the space, 9, 10, 11, into the post, 12. Keep going until you've got 36, not counting the chain 2. Okay? Meet me back. Just like when we were doing the bottom, we're going to start working in spirals. So I've got 36 stitches. So I'm just going to go, oh, actually, no, we're going to slip stitch into this one. Sorry. I make these up as I go. So we're going to slip stitch into this one. Okay. We're going to chain up 2. Let's go 3. Let's go 4. I know what I'm doing. What do you mean? So we're going to go 4, and then we're going to skip 1 stitch and do a double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and do a double crochet in the next. And what we're making here is where we're going to put our laces to close the bag. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Do that all the way around. Meet me back. So I'm to the other side. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go into the 3rd chain on the chain 4 we made. From here, I'm going to chain up 2, And now we're switching back to half double crochets. So this is actually a really good tutorial for practicing all your different stitches, right? Because we kind of use a lot. So chained up 2, yarn over into this space, pull through, go through all 3 loops. Yarn over into the stitch, pull through, go through all 3 loops. Yarn over into the space, yarn over into the stitch. Now, before I forget, I want to make sure that you know to check the description. I have all kinds of goodies in this description, okay, guys? So I have links to my Facebook crafting group, so you can join me there and show me your beautiful creations. I also have links to other dice bag tutorials, to yeah, just all kinds of other things. So check that description. I try and keep it full of goodies, okay? So do single or half double crochets all the way around, meet me back. So I've gone all the way around, and just like we did at the beginning, we're just gonna do this as a spiral, and we're gonna go into that first stitch, not the chain, and we're gonna do another round of half double crochets. So we have 2 total on either side of our crochet hook. Do you remember how I explained that? Yeah. Okay, so just going around and around in a spiral. And then we're almost done. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. Okay, sorry. I get excited about these things. I just love, you know, that I take string and I make amazing things, just like you're doing now too. I think we're awesome. We're just crocheters, knitters, all of us who take string and just make things. We're awesome. Okay, anyway, I'll get back to it. Meet me back. Okay, so as you can see, I've got 2 rows on this side of my crochet hook and 2 rows on that side of my crochet hook. So I'm just going to slip stitch here, make your loop big, cut your yarn, pull tight. So you're going to want to hide that thread, but you know, other than the first 2 threads, we've had 3 threads we've had to hide in this whole project. This is something I keep track of because I hate hiding threads. So now we're going to make the ties. Put that aside. We're going to make the ties. You're going to make 2 ties, 70 chains, okay? So make 2 of 70 and meet me back, and then I'll show you how to weave them through. Okay, I have my 2 ties made. Now we need to, okay, so you see here where I haven't hidden my thread yet? This is where we're going to start weaving. So take one of your ties and we're just going to put it in and we're just going to weave it through. Weave it through. Don't pull it through, just weave it through. You want to make sure you don't pull it by accident out the holes that you've already woven. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So there we go. So now I want you to take these ends and I want you to tie them together. I'm trying to tie it so that the crochet is right at the end of the crochet. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to flatten this And on this side, we are going to start weaving this through. And we're going to go right past these guys. See what I'm doing here? And you see how I'm keeping one on the top and one on the bottom? Okay. So we're coming out right out here. And again, we're gonna tie it so that you're right at the end of the crocheting. Okay. Now we're gonna cut these even. And on the other side, make sure that we pull tight like that. And then we're gonna cut them even. And then we of course are gonna weave in this thread. So let's pretend it's not there. And here you go, guys. This is our dice bag. And it looks like dragon scales. Isn't that awesome? There you go. I love it. I hope you love it too. So we are now at the end of the tutorial. Don't forget to check that description like I suggested. Please hit the like. And you know what I would love? I would love if you left a comment and told me where you're watching from, because it always amazes me how far my tutorials reach in the world. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Watch every Thursday. I try and do a new tutorial. Okay, talk to you later. Bye now.